So House Bill 2611 is legislation for a happier, more productive workforce.
Sean Scott, who represents the state's 43rd Legislative District, is sponsoring House Bill 2611 that would make a 32-hour work week for all workers in the state of Washington, effective January 1st, 2028. If this bill that's still in committee becomes a law, it puts Washingtonians on par with countries like the UK, Japan, Germany, and Canada when it comes to less than a 40-hour work week. Scott says that lowering the work week to 32 hours would create more production in the workplace and a better work-life balance outside of the office.
Americans work annually 125 more hours yearly than workers in Canada, 204 hours more annually than workers in Japan, 279 more annually than workers in the UK, and 470 hours more annually than people in Germany. But as hard as we work, we are not necessarily more productive. In the UK and South Africa, rates of productivity went up when a 32-hour week was implemented. Similar advancements were found when trade unionists won a 32-hour work week at Volkswagen, Mercedes-Benz, and Lamborghini plants.
Meanwhile, not everyone thinks that lowering the work hours is a good idea. There are some industries, like the Washington Hospitality Association, that are concerned that it would raise costs and deplete overall productivity.
For many employers, especially small businesses operating on thin margins, this bill would function as a significant labor cost increase. Overtime would begin earlier, forcing difficult decisions, reducing hours, cutting services, raising prices, or limiting staff altogether. This leads to a second concern: workers themselves. Many employees depend on the 40-hour work week to cover basic expenses. Faced with higher costs, employers may cap hours rather than pay overtime.
Both of these industries are industries where hours matter and getting things done matters. A grocery store needs to have full staffing to ensure deliveries. Overtime triggering at 32 hours will actually increase costs in that world because there isn't always staff to come in and take over whenever that occurs. And the same thing with contractors. We're often operating on deadlines where the hours need to be here, so much here, and then maybe there's not as much later. That would be very hard to adjust and would also add more overtime in.
Representative Scott points out that San Juan County adopted a 32-hour work week back in 2023, and he says it's been successful across the board.
Officials have reported an 18% decrease in sick calls, a 216% increase in people applying for job openings, and an 83% rate of workers who saw improved work-life balance as a result of an 8-hour reduction in the work week. So House Bill 2611 is legislation for a happier, more productive workforce.